Hi guys, hope you're all fine. I'm here with
Dominus.
and we're just going to have a shot and ask him questions and stuff like that. When did you start burlesque?
Okay, I started burlesque about 4 years ago. So I went to university and I've been studying ballroom and Latin dancing for a while. And me and two others just decided to do a burlesque society. So I thought, hey, I can try and do that, and it sort of just happened.
So you never got in contact with burlesque before that?
No, not at all, not at all. The only burlesque I'd seen was the film, but that's not really the best example of what burlesque can be. So I had a very sort of narrow vision of what burlesque was when I started it, but then since then I've sort of expanded my repertoire and stuff like that.
How do you say what is burlesque?
Okay, so this is quite an open question, and a lot of different people that do burlesque will say different things. But for me, burlesque is more of an attitude, it's more of a feeling. Traditionally, burlesque is the art of the tease where you take your clothes off, so use traditional striptease. But as with anything, with history and stuff, things progress. And I think particularly now, burlesque is prominent for the attitude of empowering oneself. So for me, personally, burlesque is all about an attitude of feeling sexy, embracing that and sharing that as part of a culture and an art form. I've always been creative. Since I was younger, I always used to draw and I did art. And I was just doing bits of dancing really. I was a late bloomer in the dance world. But then doing BCU burlesque, I kind of realised the impact that the style of dance can have on other people as well as myself, and my university course sort of absolutely sucked out any kind of enjoyment I have for art and stuff, sadly.
That happens.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And I don't know, it just kind of seemed right, and so when I left university and stuff, I just carried on with it, and I carried on dance teaching and doing burlesque. And for me, it's about how it can help people. I think that more people need to have confidence in themselves, feel sexy in themselves, and this really informs their decisions in life and what their self-worth is and stuff. And seeing people that I've taught experience that, for me, I feel like I'm doing something better for the world.
Most popular question is, how did your family deal with it?
Wow. My mum absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
I teach my mum, and she does some burlesque. She doesn't strip all the way and stuff, and she does it in a bit of a group. So she loves it, and for me, it's a very nice gift for me to be able to help my mum empower herself with things that she's been through. So I think often when you're growing up and stuff, you always want to give back to your parents in most cases. So it's nice that I've been able to help her with that. My dad was supportive of it, but I don't speak to him anymore and stuff, down to other personal issues. So he came to Cirque du Freak that we did with BCU Burlesque, and he absolutely loved it and was supportive of it. But since sort of bringing in more of the sort of drag, producing my own shows and stuff, he's not really seen that side, so I can't really say whether it was a good reaction or a bad reaction. But yeah, my mum and the rest of my family is really supportive and they love it and stuff. But I've always had the attitude of, if my family don't like it, then they can do one. So I'm not one of them that conform really to what will my parents think. I just do it. So they never really had a choice, I suppose, of whether they could accept it or not.
But talking about it now that you're talking about the drag part and everything, how was getting into that? Because you always liked it, or it was more slowly you got into that world?
Wow, what happened with that is that like when I first started burlesque, I didn't really have much understanding of drag. I used to go to the gay scene in Birmingham and stuff because, as we both know, it's a very good night out there. And I went to an event called Second South, which is a platform for new performers to perform at, whether it's lip sync, drag, dance, whatever. And it was Why She Black that sort of invited me to do it. So I did a boylesque act with Luke, and it just sort of submerged me into the scene, really. And then I got asked to do a competition called Church of Waishi, which was a lip sync competition. And through that, I sort of discovered the world of drag, really. And so really, that's sort of how it came about. I'm still very much, I will do performances as a guy, you know, more androgynous performances, or I'll, do the full get-up like this. It just really depends on how I want the act to look, really, and stuff. So this isn't like all that I am as a burlesque performer and stuff. Like I see it as a sort of part of my toolbox, really.
It's just cool because people normally just decide to put themselves in one box and that's it. That's what I do and that's it. You kind of go, no, I want to try a little bit of everything and I can be everything if I want.
Yeah,
That's
I think
cool.
If people choose one, so there's a lot of very talented queens on the scene, and I love watching all of them, whether they're new, seasoned, whatever. They're so creative, and if they just want to be a queen, that's absolutely fine. But for me, as a more, I guess, as a seasoned burlesque performer, for me, you need to learn lots of different skills and stuff and understand context. So where drag is concerned, you have a lot of people that don't understand the culture, that think it's all about RuPaul's Drag Race. And as good as that is and how much exposure that's given, that's very, very limiting of what the scene can offer. You have so many queens like Club Kids and people do all kinds of stuff. As a performer, for me, it's always good to learn new context, research, pick up new skills and stuff, so that you have a toolbox essentially and you can pick and choose where you want to apply that as and when. So mine being a bit of lip sync, a bit of drag, dancing, boylesque.
Just trying a little bit of everything.
Pick those few and because
and have fun with it.
Yeah, you have to have lots of transferable skills in any avenue in life, and performing is absolutely no different to that.
You have now House of Allure.
Yes.
How was coming out of BCU Burlesque and deciding to go for, I want to do this and I want to have House of Allure?
So House of Allure is a very new business. It's been going it's been going for a year, but the sort of established activity has been going for less than a year. It's basically a movement, I think, and it's a new business to try and inject burlesque and empowerment into Birmingham, and hopefully as it grows it will continue to spread to national and perhaps international levels and stuff like that, which would be amazing. But right now House of Allure sort of provides dance classes and stuff sort of around empowerments, things like burlesque, heels, those sort of things, and then there's a performance group and we have set residents for that where we produce our own shows and perform and stuff. So currently we have we've got Mama Mamba, we've got Coco King, Lioness, Lox LaRue Petit and myself. So as a collective we put on shows to sort of again provide entertainment. It gives us a chance to perform and grow. It adds to the community, and as well it helps to inspire other performers, audiences, and we all love a good laugh and watching people take their clothes off and dance and stuff like that. So that's what we do. So that's essentially a very short way what House of Allure is.
What's your burlesque name again? Because
okay, my burlesque name is Dominus Von Vexo, but everyone calls me Dominus.
Dominus Von Vexo.
That's it.
Okay, I got it.
But before you think it's a weird name and stuff like that, it's actually translates from a different couple of languages like Latin and stuff, which means Master of Teas.
Oh,
so that's why it's that.
I was about to ask you why you got the name.
Yeah, because it's an odd name and people are like, oh, why is it like that? But it does have some kind of relevance and meaning behind it.
Yeah. About the way you dress.
Yes.
Where do you get the clothes from?
Things like this?
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of the stuff that I wear I make, but I'm not very good at sewing, so some of the stuff that I make, I've made a few of Lox LaRue's costumes and stuff with Penny Dreadful, but a lot of the stuff that I do, I just buy base things, so I'll buy like a plain corset, a bra, or whatever, and what I do is I embellish everything that I wear myself. So for example, I might start with a plain corset and then I'll rhinestone it and add stuff to it and stuff. Really that I've only been doing since February, that I've progressed and when you do it you learn more and more and more, but I don't know how to use the sewing machine and things like that. I get someone else to do that bit for me. And I do all the pretty stuff.
Tell me your inspirations.
Okay, my inspirations. I just like loads and loads of things. So I think, again, sort of expanding and sort of going on a slight tangent, it makes a very good performer or artist if they have loads and loads and loads and loads of different references. So, for example, if you're going to do an Alice in Wonderland act, for example, just watching Alice in Wonderland isn't enough. You want to read the book, you want to read other books, looks at different types of fashion eras, looks at different types of materials, styles of dance, different types of music. And when you have access to a wealth of knowledge, it provides you with much more of an informed decision about what you do when you perform, and it provides a much more interesting kind of result. So for me personally, I absolutely love movies, I love Broadway, I love reading, I love going to see local drag queens, I like seeing local burlesque performers, as well as more seasoned burlesque performers, seeing shows, TV shows, fashion, going on Pinterest and Instagram and just typing in all sorts of crap that will come up to really helpful. I like art, illustration, so it just really depends really. If you do burlesque properly, I mean, really doing burlesque, if you're interested in it and you actually start to delve into it, it is an involuntary decision. It becomes a way of life, a passion. It's all you can think about, and you literally everywhere you go, all you're thinking about is things like rhinestones, music, all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, and if you want to progress in anything, you know, it's to be a successful performer in any kind of avenue, you have to study, you have to work hard at it. You know, if you go and get a degree from university, you have to set your projects aside. So each performance, you have to kind of think of it as a project. But it, you know, it depends. If you want to do things like burlesque for leisure, it doesn't have to be as intense as that. But if you do want to perform and go into things like creating your own opportunities and stuff like that, if I look back to some of the earlier work that I did, it's very easy to look back and think, oh my god, that was shit, that was horrible, like, oh, what was I thinking? You know, that choreography, that costume wasn't good. But you have to be proud of what that was for then and the growth that you've done and stuff like that. So yeah, again, it's one of those things that you have to work at it.
What's your advice for someone that wants to try burlesque?
Okay, my advice is absolutely go for it. If you are thinking about it or toying with the idea, just go to a class, okay? Watch things on YouTube, you know, go to burlesque performances, go to drag shows. Start just looking at performance in general, and going to dance classes as well will really, really help you. Things like ballet, stuff like that. Yeah, just submerge yourself in the world of it. Even if it means watching a video on YouTube of, let's say, a routine that you like, or, you know, let's say you like Beyonce or something like that, and you like the song Partition, you know, get yourself a robe or a shirt and just, you know, start taking it off in your room in front of a mirror and having a play. See how you feel, see how you respond to that, and then, you know, if things go well, just, you know, it's about how you feel, and then you build up on that by going to more shows, more classes, designing your own costumes, all of that kind of stuff. And then that's when the infectious disease of burlesque sort of begins to spread more and more. No, the main thing is anyone looking to study burlesque, be involved in it, remember it is a journey, and just because you see burlesque performers, it doesn't mean that they're not insecure of themselves. So for me, you know, I don't personally like the way that I look, and it takes a lot of work for me to be able to get up on stage, do things like this. You know, it's about self-care and stuff like that. So if you are thinking of starting it and stuff, be proud of the small achievements that you do. You're not going to look amazing to start off with, because it is a growth, and the more you feel comfortable in yourself, it's about embracing every part of yourself, and that's where the empowerment comes. And when you do, and when you start to reach that point, it will change your life forever in a very positive way. You will learn to say no to people, you will learn the worth that you have. It will give you the confidence to go for a new job, or to ask that person on a date, or you know, if you're in a particularly bad situation, to stand up for yourself and things like that. Again, it is an attitude and it is a way of life, so remember that it is a journey. Be proud of yourself for the things that you do, and remember that the stars that you do see on stage and stuff, don't try and compare yourself to people like that, because they have started where you have started, and they appear to not be human when they're on stage, but that's the illusion of burlesque, that is the glamour. So yeah.
Okay, that's it. Thank you for having me at your place, by the way, and doing this with me. And well, guys, hope you enjoyed, because hearing him is just amazing, always.
Oh, bless you, thank you.
Bye.